Learn to act as if nothing hurts you. Stoicism philosophy. Stoicism. The idea of acting as if nothing hurts you might sound like an impossible dream, something straight out of a movie or a legend from ancient times. But what if I told you, it's not just a fantasy, it's a skill, a mindset that anyone, including you, can develop. Modern Stoicism offers us practical tools and timeless Stoic secrets to master our emotions and respond to life's hardships with strength and clarity. The goal isn't to ignore pain or suppress emotions, but to transform the way we see and use them. Imagine being able to face any challenge with calm, grace, and unwavering focus. In today's video, I'll show you how to embrace this powerful philosophy and use it to become untouchable. Not by avoiding pain, but by turning it into your greatest teacher. Welcome to Stoic in Your Life. Let's begin. Why pain controls us. Pain is a natural and inevitable part of life, yet its control over us doesn't stem from the sensation itself, but from how we interpret and respond to it. We often expect life to align perfectly with our desires, yet when reality veers off course, we are met with discomfort, frustration, and emotional upheaval. This disconnect between expectation and reality is where pain takes root. Consider this. How often does your disappointment come not from what happened, but from what you hoped or believed should have happened? Beyond this, our tendency to tether our self-worth to external validations, whether it's the approval of others, the fleeting affirmation of social media, or societal standards, amplifies the sting of our pain. It's as though we hand over the reins of our happiness to forces entirely outside our control. And when those forces inevitably let us down, we suffer. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." And this rings true even today. Modern Stoicism teaches us that by loosening our grip on these external dependencies, we reclaim our ability to navigate life with resilience. Pain also arises from our futile attempts to control the uncontrollable. Think about how often you try to dictate outcomes, guide relationships, or mold others to fit your expectations, only to realize that life has its own plans. When we become fixated on trying to steer every aspect of our journey, we set ourselves up for inevitable disappointment. It's as if we're chasing the wind, only to be left tired and disillusioned. Instead, what if you reframed the situation and saw pain not as something to fear, but as a signal, an opportunity to adjust your expectations and work with the flow of life rather than against it? Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." By letting go of what is beyond your control, you strip pain of its power over you, turning it into a fleeting visitor rather than a permanent resident in your life. Picture this in a modern context. Imagine a close friend or partner withdrawing, emotionally, leaving you feeling as though your self-worth is slipping away. It's not their actions causing this pain, but the weight you've placed on their presence for your sense of validation. This misplaced reliance makes their absence feel like a personal failure. But when you recognize that your value does not depend on another's attention or behavior, you can start to break free. Pain becomes less about the loss and more about the lesson, teaching you that your worth is inherent and unshaken by the tides of others' actions. As Seneca wisely noted, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality, emphasizing how much of our pain is self-inflicted through our interpretations and fears rather than actual events. So how can we begin to act as if nothing hurts us? By no means does this mean denying or suppressing pain. It means shifting your perspective and facing it with equanimity. Begin by embracing the Stoic principle of amor fati, the love of one's fate. This doesn't mean passively accepting everything that happens, but actively finding value and meaning in every experience, even those that hurt. When you approach pain with curiosity rather than resistance, you transform it into a tool for growth. For example, when you experience rejection at work or in a relationship, don't see it as a reflection of your inadequacy, but as a chance to recalibrate, learn, and strengthen your character. Pain, when seen through this lens, becomes a teacher rather than an adversary. In today's fast-paced and often overwhelming world, modern Stoicism equips us with a timeless toolkit to navigate life's challenges. It teaches us to detach from the uncontrollable and refocus on what is within our power, our thoughts, choices, and reactions. Think about how much lighter your life would feel if you stopped trying to bend reality to your will and instead focused on bending your will to reality. This doesn't mean resigning yourself to passivity, but embracing the adaptability of water, flowing around obstacles rather than colliding with them. The next time you feel pain, remind yourself that it's not a fixed state, but a moment, one that will pass if you let it. By cultivating this mindset, you can meet life's uncertainties with calm and resilience, embodying the essence of what it means to act as if nothing hurts you. When we understand why pain can control us, we begin to see that pain doesn't have to dominate our minds or our lives. Instead, we can learn to rise above it and take control, rather than letting it control us. How to act as if nothing hurts you. Awareness is the first step, but to truly act as if nothing hurts you, you need practical guidance. That's exactly what we'll explore in this section. How to face pain head-on and overcome it like a true Stoic. Before moving on, ask yourself, what could change in your life if you could transform every hurt into strength? Let's dive into the practical steps below, and don't miss the most powerful strategies coming up in this section. Number 1. Focus on what you can control. Let me share a powerful idea with you. Stoic philosophy teaches us that while we cannot control the world around us, we have full control over how we respond to it. This simple truth is transformative. It's the foundation of resilience, purpose, and peace. Every moment you're faced with two choices. You can fixate on what you can't control, other people's opinions, unexpected events, or unfair circumstances. Or you can focus on what's within your power, your thoughts, actions, and attitude. The way you respond shapes your reality. It's not the events themselves, but how you interpret and react to them that determines your strength. So ask yourself, am I focusing on what I can change, or wasting energy on what I can't? This single question can change how you see the world. I remember a friend who lost their job unexpectedly. At first they were overwhelmed with frustration and doubt, but instead of getting stuck in negativity, they focused on what they could control: their skills, attitude, and network. Within weeks, they found a better role aligned with their passions. What stood out was how calm and steady they remained throughout, as if nothing could hurt them. That's what Stoicism looks like in action, letting go of blame and asking, what can I do now? Isn't it empowering to know that even when chaos surrounds you, your response is entirely yours to command? Think about the last time someone criticized you. Did you get defensive or angry? That's a natural reaction. But what if instead you paused and asked, how can I use this to grow? Turning criticism into a tool for self-improvement shifts your focus from emotional reaction to deliberate action. Picture yourself stuck in traffic, late for something important. Frustration rises, but will anger or honking make the cars move faster? Of course not. Instead, you could use that time to plan, reflect, or even listen to something uplifting. In that moment, you reclaim your peace by focusing on what you can control. Life is full of these small, meaningful opportunities to choose calm over frustration. The more you practice this mindset, the more unshakable you become. You stop feeling like a victim of your circumstances and start taking ownership of your life. This doesn't mean ignoring problems or pretending everything is fine. It's about responding to difficulty with clarity and strength. When you focus on what you can control, you let go of the stress that comes from chasing things beyond your reach. You anchor yourself in inner calm and strength. So let me ask you, what are you trying to control right now that's outside your power? How could redirecting that energy to your thoughts, actions, or attitude change your experience? The Stoic way isn't about suppressing emotions, but mastering them to serve your purpose. Remember this: peace isn't about controlling the world. It's about mastering yourself. When you embrace these Stoic secrets, you become unshaken by life's chaos, standing firm and steady, just as you were meant to. Number 2, turn pain into a lesson. Pain is something we all encounter, and though it may feel like an unwelcome guest in our lives, it has the power to teach us profound lessons, if we allow it. You see, pain is not just an obstacle, it's a signal, a mirror that reflects areas where we might need to grow, adapt, or even let go. As the Stoics teach, what stands in the way becomes the way. That is to say, the very challenges we face can become the paths to our own transformation. Think about a time when you faced deep emotional pain, perhaps a loss, a rejection, or even a failure. How did you respond to it? Did you try to run from it, suppress it, or avoid it? Modern Stoicism invites us to turn toward our pain, to look it in the eye and ask, what can I learn from this? When we approach pain with curiosity rather than resistance, we unlock its potential as a teacher. Pain often reveals truths about ourselves, about our expectations, our attachments, and even our values. Maybe you've expected too much from someone who couldn't meet those expectations, and their failure to do so left you hurt. Or perhaps, you held tightly to something that was always out of your control. This realization can be painful, but it also sets you free. Consider this. Pain, when viewed through the lens of Stoicism, is like a map. It shows us where our weaknesses lie, where our emotions take over, and where we might need to build resilience. Let's say you've experienced a personal loss. Someone you deeply cared about is no longer in your life. The natural reaction might be to drown in that pain or to shut it away. But what if you could approach it differently? What if, instead of avoiding the discomfort, you took time to sit with it, to journal about it, to reflect on how this experience has shaped you? Through this process, you might realize how deeply you value connection, or how much of life is outside your control, leading you to embrace those things you can control with greater intention. Doesn't that shift in perspective feel empowering? Now, I'm not saying this is easy. Far from it. Turning pain into a lesson takes courage. It requires you to confront feelings that you'd rather ignore, and to reflect on aspects of yourself that you might not want to face. But in doing so, you'll begin to discover an inner strength you didn't know you had. Ask yourself this: what is your pain trying to teach you? Is it pointing out a flaw in your thinking or behavior? Is it showing you where you need to set boundaries or where you might need to let go of something that no longer serves you? When you treat pain as a guide, you start to see it less as an enemy and more as a necessary part of your personal evolution. Imagine what kind of person you could become if you embraced this mindset: more resilient, more self-aware, and more at peace with the inevitable challenges of life. For me, this practice has been transformative. Whenever I encounter pain, I try to remind myself to pause, reflect, and ask the hard questions. Sometimes I even thank the pain. Yes, you heard that right, because it's teaching me lessons I couldn't learn any other way. And you can do this too. The next time life throws a curveball your way, don't shy away from it. Instead, lean in, reflect, write down your thoughts. Explore the emotions that come up. And most importantly, ask yourself how this experience can help you grow. After all, isn't that what life is about? Becoming a better version of yourself, one challenge at a time? So as we navigate this journey together, I challenge you to think about how you can turn your pain into purpose. What if every struggle you face is an opportunity to become stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. Remember, the obstacle is the way. With modern Stoicism as your guide, you have the tools to transform even the heaviest burdens into stepping stones for growth. Are you ready to embrace that challenge? If you've ever faced a moment where pain taught you something valuable, share your strength with us by commenting below. I turn pain into growth. Your story could inspire others to see their challenges not as setbacks, but as opportunities to learn, adapt, and thrive. Let's support each other on this journey of transformation and resilience. Number 3, build resilience through practice. Resilience is not a gift bestowed at birth, but a skill painstakingly built through perseverance, reflection, and practice. The Stoic philosophy reminds us that emotional resilience, much like a sturdy fortress, is constructed brick by brick as we navigate life's inevitable hardships. By cultivating habits that nurture mental and emotional strength, we prepare ourselves to meet adversity with the same calm resolve as a seasoned sailor, braving a storm. The key lies in daily practice, simple, deliberate actions that shape our inner character. Think of resilience as a muscle. The more you exercise it through life's trials, the stronger it becomes. Challenges are not obstacles to fear, but opportunities to refine your inner strength. Each difficulty you face is like lifting a weight, fortifying you for the next. This is why Stoicism encourages practices that condition the mind for life's unpredictability. For instance, starting your day by acknowledging 3 things you're grateful for can rewire your focus from lack to abundance. Gratitude shifts your perspective and serves as an anchor during turbulent times. Likewise, visualizing yourself overcoming obstacles, what Stoics call premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils, helps you face future hardships with composure because you've already mentally rehearsed your resilience. This practice doesn't invite negativity. Rather, it empowers you to respond with clarity instead of despair when life's storms inevitably arrive. When I speak of resilience, I think about how life often mirrors a series of unpredictable waves. You cannot calm the sea, but you can strengthen your ship. By consistently practicing gratitude, reaffirming your self-worth, and preparing for the worst while expecting the best, you train your mind to stay steady no matter how rough the waters. Yet modern life, with its constant noise, stress, and uncertainty, tests our resilience daily. Yet, through intentional effort, we can transform these tests into opportunities for growth. Take a moment today to focus on your strengths rather than your shortcomings. Remind yourself of all the challenges you've already conquered, and let that memory fuel your confidence to face what's next. The beauty of Stoicism lies in its practicality. It offers Stoic secrets that teach you to focus not on eliminating pain, but on learning to endure it with grace. Imagine keeping a journal where you reflect on moments of struggle and how you overcame them. This practice helps you see yourself as someone capable of resilience. To embody this principle in your daily life, I encourage you to adopt small rituals that remind you of your inner power. The world may throw chaos your way, but with steady practice you can remain unshaken. Every setback you face is a chance to train your mind, preparing you for future challenges while affirming your ability to endure. With resilience as your ally, you'll find that even life's harshest lessons become opportunities for growth and wisdom. Remember, you hold the power to act as if nothing hurts you, not by ignoring pain, but by transforming it into a stepping stone for strength. This is the essence of the Stoic secrets that lead to a life of peace and unshakable resolve. Number 4. Practice letting go without apathy. Let me share a perspective that has deeply transformed my life. The power of letting go, not in the sense of indifference, but in the way that modern Stoicism teaches us. Detachment often carries the wrong connotation, as if it means you don't care or disconnect from life. But in truth, detachment is about freeing yourself from the need to control outcomes while remaining fully engaged with what life offers. It's the realization that your peace of mind should never depend on circumstances beyond your control. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." And this wisdom reminds us that true strength lies in how we respond to life's challenges, not in avoiding them. How often do we attach our happiness to things like promotions, the approval of others, or a stable relationship? While these are important, they should never define your self-worth. Detachment helps you let go of the emotional burden tied to outcomes you can't guarantee. This doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you care in a way that protects your inner peace. Take this example, losing a job. The initial shock may make you question your value or direction, but detachment shifts your focus from the loss itself to what you can control, how you respond, learn, and rebuild. Instead of letting that moment define you, it becomes an opportunity for growth and a new direction. Detachment doesn't mean you aren't hurt by the loss. It means you have the resilience to move forward. This approach transforms setbacks into stepping stones, showing you that your worth isn't tied to a job title but to your ability to adapt and thrive. Life is inherently uncertain, and resisting this truth only creates suffering. Detachment is about embracing uncertainty with the mindset that your happiness doesn't have to depend on specific outcomes. When you let go of the need to control everything, you reduce stress and open yourself up to living more fully. Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." By practicing detachment, you free yourself from endless desires for more success, security, or validation, and instead, you find fulfillment in the present moment. In today's world, where we're constantly pressured to achieve and accumulate, detachment offers a liberating alternative. Modern Stoicism teaches us to focus on what truly matters: our values, our actions, and our character. When you stop chasing external measures of success and begin to anchor yourself in what you can control, you'll find that external circumstances lose their grip over you. The Stoics urge us to ask ourselves, is this within my control? If the answer is yes, take purposeful action. If it's no, let it go. This simple practice can transform how you approach both small frustrations and life's biggest challenges. Start small. When plans fall apart or things don't go your way, take a moment to reflect on whether the situation is truly within your control. If it is, take steps to address it. If not, release it and shift your energy toward what you can influence. With practice, detachment becomes second nature, and you'll find that things that used to unsettle you now have little power over your peace of mind. Like building a muscle, the more you practice, the stronger and more resilient you'll become. Letting go is not about apathy or giving up. It's about stepping into life fully, unburdened by unnecessary worries. As Epictetus said, "He who is not enslaved to things he cannot control is free." True freedom isn't the absence of challenges. It's the ability to face them with a steady and calm spirit. Modern Stoicism offers us this freedom, the ability to live with purpose, resilience, and peace. Detachment isn't about turning away from life but embracing it with courage, grace, and the strength to let go of what you cannot hold. Number 5. Create mental space for reflection. Life today can feel like a relentless wave of demands, distractions, and noise. And if you're like most people, it's easy to let that chaos dictate your every move. We rush from one task to the next, our minds cluttered with endless to-do lists, notifications, and worries, rarely stopping to breathe or reflect. But here's a Stoic secret that can transform your perspective. Create mental space for reflection. It's not just about finding a moment to relax. It's about deliberately choosing stillness so you can regain clarity and balance. Marcus Aurelius, one of Stoicism's greatest practitioners, reminded himself daily to withdraw into yourself. and create an inner fortress of calm amidst the storm of life. You too can embrace this practice by stepping back from the noise, tuning out the distractions, and carving out time for reflection. Imagine walking in a quiet forest, the world, stripped down to the rustle of leaves and the crunch of your footsteps. Without your phone, without any interruptions, you suddenly hear something rare, your own thoughts. What would you uncover if you made this a habit? A friend of mine, caught up in the hustle of their demanding career, once felt completely burned out. Every day felt like running on autopilot, reacting to crises and meeting expectations without pause. Then, they stumbled across this simple Stoic practice. They started small, 5 minutes of journaling before bed. No fancy prompts, just a few lines about the day and what felt important. Over time, this small act grew. It became walks in the park after work, meditation in the mornings, and eventually a commitment to spend an hour a week reflecting deeply on their goals, decisions, and responses to challenges. They told me something profound. That space gave me back my power. Instead of being pushed by life, I started guiding it. Can you relate to that feeling of life pushing you around? What if you reclaimed control by making time to pause and reflect? The beauty of creating mental space is that it doesn't require dramatic life changes. It's about integrating moments of quiet into your day. Whether it's journaling to sort through your emotions, meditating to ground yourself in the present, or simply sitting in silence to let your mind wander, these small acts of reflection can spark powerful insights. Even something as simple as leaving your phone behind during a walk can make a difference. Try it. Notice how the absence of constant pings and alerts feels almost unnatural at first, but then you discover a certain freedom in it. That's when you truly begin to hear your own mind. Reflection isn't just about looking back. It's about sharpening your perspective for what lies ahead. When you regularly create space to think, you start to notice patterns in your thoughts, behaviors, and reactions. You might ask yourself, am I reacting to this situation out of fear or wisdom? Or, does this path align with what I value most? These questions build a stronger, more self-aware you, someone who can navigate life's chaos with calmness and purpose. And when you make reflection a habit, you'll find you're no longer just reacting to the world, but proactively choosing how to respond. So, what's stopping you from embracing this practice? Maybe it's the fear of slowing down, of sitting alone with your thoughts, or the belief that you don't have time. But let me ask you this. How much time do you lose every day caught up in distractions that don't truly matter? Reflection doesn't take time away from you. It gives time back because it equips you to approach life with clarity and focus. The Stoics understood this deeply, and so can you. By making reflection a priority, you gain the wisdom to discern what matters, the strength to face challenges without being overwhelmed, and the inner peace to navigate life with grace. You don't need a quiet mountaintop or hours of meditation. Start with something simple. Take a few minutes tonight to jot down your thoughts, or leave your phone behind on your next walk. Remember, small steps lead to big changes. If you consistently create mental space, you'll find yourself calmer, clearer, and more in control of your life. That's the power of this Stoic secret. By acting as if nothing external can truly hurt you, you free yourself to focus on what you can control: your mind, your choices, and your actions. So, when will you take your first step toward clarity and calm? If you've made it this far, it's clear you're someone who values wisdom and seeks a deeper sense of clarity and purpose in life. Let's keep that momentum going. In the comments below, share how you plan to create mental space for reflection, or simply comment, "I commit to reclaiming my clarity," as a way of solidifying your dedication to this practice. Your journey toward a more reflective and purposeful life starts here. Let's take this step together. This is just the beginning of your transformation. Number 6. Harness gratitude as your shield. Gratitude isn't just a simple thank you or a fleeting emotion. It's a mindset, a lens through which you can see the world, and a powerful shield against life's hardships. When challenges arise, it's easy to get caught up in negativity, isn't it? But what if, instead, you focused on what's still good? Gratitude shifts your perspective from scarcity to abundance. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Choosing gratitude means choosing to improve your thoughts and build resilience, even when life feels overwhelming. Doesn't that sound like a practice worth adopting? How often do you find yourself dwelling on what you don't have? The missed opportunities, the broken relationships, the unachieved goals, these thoughts can weigh you down. But gratitude breaks those chains, encouraging you to cherish what you already have. As Epictetus wisely put it, he is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. Take a moment to reflect on the small joys in your life. A kind word, the warmth of the sun, or the comfort of your favorite drink. Aren't these moments worth appreciating? Gratitude shows its real power during tough times. When life feels messy, when you're facing loss, disappointment, or hardship, it becomes a lifeline. Think back to a struggle that ultimately made you stronger or taught you something invaluable. Isn't it amazing how difficulties can become stepping stones? For instance, losing a job may seem devastating, but what if it leads you toward a career that aligns better with your passions? Modern Stoicism offers practical tools to develop this mindset, and one of the simplest is a daily gratitude practice. Have you tried writing down 3 things you're thankful for each day? These don't have to be big. They can be as simple as the sound of rain or a moment of peace in a hectic day. Over time, this habit trains your brain to focus on the positive, even in the face of adversity. Life will always bring challenges, but gratitude equips you to navigate them with strength and grace. That doesn't mean gratitude is always easy. On days when life feels heavy, it might feel impossible to see the good. But those are the moments when gratitude matters most. By focusing on even the smallest blessings, you can counter feelings of hopelessness and remember that beauty still exists in your life. Think of a time when someone's kindness lifted your spirits during a hard moment. Didn't it remind you that you weren't alone? As Seneca said, "Nothing is more honorable than a grateful heart." Could you let gratitude guide you to honor your life even when it feels far from perfect? From my own experience, gratitude doesn't just change how I see the world, it changes how I interact with it. When I approach life with gratitude, I find I'm more patient, forgiving, and open to new possibilities. Even setbacks hurt less because I know they're part of a bigger story filled with growth and lessons. Imagine how your life could change if you leaned into gratitude, even during the hardest times. Could you start to see loss not as the end, but as a new beginning? Could you focus less on what's gone and more on what remains? Modern Stoicism reminds us that while life is unpredictable, we always have control over our mindset. Gratitude allows us to face life's challenges with courage, transforming even the hardest days into opportunities for growth. It's not just a shield to protect you, it's a compass guiding you toward deeper connections, greater peace, and a more meaningful life. So let me ask you, what could happen if you started practicing gratitude today? Could you begin to see your life not as a series of problems to endure, but as a journey to cherish and grow from? Learning to act as if nothing hurts you isn't just a coping mechanism, it's a way of life that helps you build inner strength. All of these steps are designed with one ultimate goal: to help you live a balanced life free from the grip of pain. Connect pain to personal growth. Now that you've learned how to manage and transform pain, it's time to look deeper. Pain isn't just something to overcome. It can also be a tool for personal growth. Let's explore how to connect pain with personal development and life's deeper values in this section. Number 1. Face challenges with courage. Life, in all its unpredictability, inevitably presents challenges. It is during these moments of hardship that our true strength and character are revealed. While pain is uncomfortable and often seems like an unwelcome guest, it is an essential and unavoidable part of our shared human experience. It serves as a powerful teacher, guiding us to understand the depth of our resilience. The philosophy of Stoicism teaches us that courage is not defined by the absence of fear, but by our ability to act decisively and intentionally, even in the face of uncertainty and discomfort. Courage is the conscious choice to move forward, to persist when everything inside us urges us to retreat. Each challenge you face, whether large or small, is an opportunity, a moment to grow not only in resilience, but in wisdom and strength of character. When you choose to confront adversity with courage, you are doing more than just surviving. You are actively building the mental toughness that will prepare you to meet future challenges with greater ease and confidence. Think of life's challenges not as immovable barriers, but as stepping stones that allow you to ascend toward a better, more refined version of yourself. This perspective is what transforms pain and difficulty into tools for personal growth. Imagine facing a career setback. Perhaps you didn't get the promotion you were hoping for, or a project you worked hard on failed to meet expectations. Moments like this, courage invites you to embrace the disappointment, to look closely at the situation and uncover the lessons it holds. What could you do differently? What skills could you develop further? What opportunities might this setback be pointing you toward? Instead of allowing fear or self-doubt to paralyze you, courage pushes you to take action, even if that action is small. Each step forward builds momentum, and as you continue, you'll notice something remarkable. The uncertainty and fear that once felt overwhelming begin to shrink in the face of your determination. This principle doesn't only apply to professional setbacks, whether it's navigating a difficult relationship, coping with the loss of a loved one, or managing a sudden health challenge. Courage is the thread that ties all these experiences together. By choosing to act with courage, you affirm to yourself that no matter how daunting the situation, you have the strength to endure and overcome. And as you do, you build a foundation of resilience and clarity that allows you to approach future difficulties with a sense of calm and control. The Stoic secrets to living a fearless and fulfilling life lie in this ability to reframe your perspective. Instead of seeing challenges as unfair burdens, view them as invitations to grow stronger and wiser. When you act with courage, you reclaim your agency over life, proving to yourself time and again that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way. By practicing courage consistently, it becomes a natural part of who you are. Over time, you'll find that challenges no longer feel as insurmountable as they once did. You'll approach life's uncertainties with a clear mind and an open heart, knowing that every hardship is an opportunity to grow, every pain a chance to learn, and every obstacle a stepping stone toward a stronger, wiser you. These are the timeless lessons of Stoicism, lessons that, when embraced, empower you to navigate life's trials with grace, strength, and an unshakable sense of purpose. Courage is not only a tool for surviving life's difficulties, it's the key to thriving no matter what life places in your path. Number 2. Turn pain into a source of strength. Rather than fleeing from pain, we can learn to transform it into a wellspring of strength, a guiding force that shapes and fortifies us. Pain, when faced with the right mindset, is not an enemy, but a teacher, exposing the areas where we have the most room to grow, whether it's in managing our emotions, improving our relationships, or deepening our self-awareness. Every moment of hurt offers a choice: to see it as a burden or to use it as a stepping stone for self-improvement. Think about the lessons hidden in failure. It teaches resilience by pushing us to rise again. Loss, while deeply painful, can open our eyes to the beauty of what we still have, helping us to cultivate gratitude. Even rejection, though it stings in the moment, can strengthen our sense of self-worth. reminding us to define our value from within rather than through external validation. By confronting pain head-on, you take back control, ensuring that life's trials become catalysts for your growth rather than obstacles to your happiness. Modern Stoicism teaches us that embracing pain doesn't mean pretending it doesn't hurt or sweeping it under the rug. Instead, it's about facing pain with courage and curiosity, treating it as raw material for building a stronger character. Each painful experience adds a new layer of resilience, much like forging steel in fire. It is through heat and pressure that we emerge sharper, stronger, and more capable. Consider a personal setback you've endured, a professional failure, the loss of a loved one, or the end of a meaningful relationship. In the immediate aftermath, it may have felt insurmountable, but when you look back, you may find that it gave you clarity about what truly matters. It might have pushed you to pivot, refocus, or uncover hidden reserves of strength you didn't know you had. Seneca wisely said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body," reminding us that the trials we face are not merely burdens to endure, but opportunities to refine our spirit. In the context of modern life, this approach becomes even more vital. Today's world is full of pressures: career challenges, societal expectations, the demands of family, and the ever-present comparison fueled by social media. It's easy to feel crushed under the weight of these struggles, but when you adopt the principles of modern Stoicism, you learn to see these pressures not as insurmountable threats, but as opportunities to grow. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" try asking, "What can this teach me?" When you shift your mindset in this way, even the most painful moments become purposeful. By using pain as a source of strength, you not only endure life's challenges, but transform them into the foundation of your personal evolution. Each time you emerge stronger from a painful experience, you are equipping yourself to handle future challenges with greater composure and wisdom. This doesn't mean the pain becomes less real, but it becomes less controlling. By reframing pain as an essential part of growth, you free yourself from the mindset of victimhood and step into a position of agency. After all, life is less about what happens to us and more about how we respond. So the next time you face hardship, remember that every challenge you conquer adds to your reservoir of inner strength, enabling you to face tomorrow with more courage and clarity than you did today. Through this lens, pain transforms from an obstacle to an essential tool in your journey, and you become an architect of your own resilience. Number 3. Recognize the value in imperfection. Let me tell you something liberating. Life is imperfect, and so are you, and that's okay. One of the greatest Stoic secrets is recognizing the value in imperfection, not as a flaw to fix, but as an essential part of being human. Think about it. Perfection is an illusion, and chasing it only leads to frustration and disappointment. Stoicism teaches us to embrace our flaws because they hold the key to growth. Mistakes, failures, and even the messy parts of life are opportunities to learn, evolve, and become stronger. When you stop striving for unattainable ideals and accept yourself as you are, you experience a profound sense of freedom. You're no longer weighed down by the unrealistic expectations of always being flawless. Instead, you approach life with balance, knowing that each misstep is simply a step toward growth. I'll share a story with you. A friend of mine once gave a big presentation at work, and in the middle of it, they stumbled over their words, lost their place, and completely froze. You could see the embarrassment on their face, and afterward, they told me how mortified they felt. But what impressed me was how quickly they bounced back. They didn't let the mistake define them. Instead, they laughed about it, reflected on how they could improve, and even used the experience to connect with others, sharing their vulnerability. By embracing their imperfection, they not only grew from the experience but also strengthened their confidence. Imagine if they had let that moment haunt them. how much energy would have been wasted on regret. You see, by accepting imperfection, you free yourself to keep moving forward. Now think about your own life. How often do you judge yourself harshly for not being perfect? Maybe you've made a mistake at work, said something awkward in a conversation, or failed to meet a goal. How did you react? Most of us get stuck in self-criticism, replaying the moment over and over as if that will change the outcome. But what if instead you saw the mistake as a natural part of your journey? What if you allowed yourself the grace to learn and grow without the weight of regret? Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, reminds us in Meditations, "You don't have to turn this into something. It doesn't have to upset you." In other words, mistakes are only as significant as the power you give them. Imagine a different scenario, one where you accept life's messiness and your own imperfections with compassion. For example, if you misspeak during an important conversation, instead of obsessing over it, you acknowledge it, correct it if necessary, and move on. You'd discover that people are often more forgiving of your flaws than you are of yourself. Recognizing imperfection as part of the human experience not only relieves pressure but also fosters healthier relationships, both with others and with yourself. When you embrace this truth, you give yourself permission to live authentically, without fear of failure. So why does this matter? Because when you focus less on being perfect and more on being present, you create space for growth, resilience, and even joy. Accepting imperfection doesn't mean giving up. It means shifting your perspective to see mistakes as lessons rather than setbacks. You stop fearing failure and start valuing the journey no matter how messy it gets. Let me ask you this. What would your life look like if you stopped striving for perfection and started embracing your imperfections? How much lighter would you feel if you allowed yourself to grow without judgment? The truth is, life isn't about flawless execution. It's about showing up, learning, and evolving every step of the way. Take this lesson to heart. Perfection is not the goal. Progress is. When you accept imperfection, you cultivate inner peace, deepen your self-compassion, and unlock the courage to try again, no matter how many times you stumble. These Stoic secrets remind us that growth is found not in avoiding failure, but in embracing it as part of our journey. So the next time you falter, remember, you're not broken, you're human. And that's where your strength lies. Number 4. Let go of what you can't control. Letting go of what you cannot control is one of the most freeing and empowering practices you can adopt, and it's central to Stoic philosophy. Think about how much time you spend stressing over what others think, worrying about outcomes beyond your influence, or replaying events that didn't go your way. I've been there too, frustrated by how little of the world I could truly shape. But the wisdom of the Stoics is clear. Your power lies not in controlling the uncontrollable, but in choosing your response. As Epictetus said, "Some things are up to us and some things are not." Imagine how much lighter your life would feel if you accepted this truth and stopped holding on to things you were never meant to control. How much of your stress would fade if you redirected that energy to things within your power? Letting go doesn't make you weak or indifferent. It makes you resilient. Modern Stoicism isn't about ignoring life's challenges. It's about facing them with clarity and strength. By releasing what you cannot control, you're not turning away from life, but stepping into it with purpose. Think about a time you tried to control something outside your reach. Did it bring peace? Or only more frustration? For me, realizing that clinging to control was an illusion was life-changing. It didn't protect me. It only trapped me in cycles of stress. Letting go, I found a sense of peace no external event could shake. This practice isn't about perfection, but progress. The more you let go, the more room you make for growth and freedom. Take losing a job, for example. It's undeniably difficult. But holding on to resentment or wishing the past was different doesn't change the situation. Instead, you can focus on what's next, building new skills, exploring opportunities, or even reimagining your path. Doesn't that sound more empowering than being stuck in frustration? As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Letting go also helps you live in the present, free from fears about the future or regrets about the past. Life is unpredictable, and resisting its natural rhythm only adds unnecessary struggle. What if instead of fighting uncertainty, you learn to embrace it? This isn't about giving up. It's about channeling your energy into what truly matters, your actions, your values, and your inner peace. To start, build awareness. Notice where you're gripping too tightly. Are you obsessing over someone's opinion, fearing an outcome, or replaying a scenario in your head? Ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is no, gently remind yourself to let it go. It's not a one-time decision, but a habit you strengthen over time. As Seneca wisely said, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor. Craving control over the uncontrollable drains your emotional and mental energy. Modern Stoicism sees letting go as a gain, not a loss, a way to reclaim your peace and stability. The more you practice it, the more you'll notice a shift in how you handle life's challenges. Imagine knowing that no matter what happens, you can remain calm and grounded, focused only on what truly matters. That's the gift of letting go, a path to freedom and inner strength. So next time you find yourself caught in frustration, pause and ask, what if I let this go? You might be surprised at how much peace and clarity come from releasing the weight. Life will unfold as it will, whether we resist it or flow with it. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means rising above. Isn't that a freedom worth striving for? You've taken a powerful step toward embracing imperfection and finding strength in life's messiness. Let's make this interactive. Leave a comment below and share this slogan, "Imperfection powers growth," to show that you're embracing the Stoic principle of progress over perfection. Your voice matters, and your commitment to this journey inspires others to do the same. Keep moving forward. Your transformation is already underway. Number 5. Create mental space for reflection. In the ceaseless activity of daily life, it's all too easy to get lost in the whirlwind of obligations, distractions, and noise, leaving little room to pause and think deeply. Yet, one of the Stoic secrets to a resilient and fulfilled life lies in the power of stillness, creating mental space for reflection. As Stoic philosophy teaches us, clarity and self-awareness are born in these quiet moments when we step back from the rush and observe our own thoughts and actions. Marcus Aurelius himself reminds us in his Meditations, "Nowhere you can go is more peaceful, more free of interruptions, than your own soul." In a world constantly pulling us in a dozen directions, taking deliberate time to reflect is not a luxury. It is a necessity for emotional and mental growth. Reflection is not about retreating from life, but about gaining the insight needed to engage with it more fully. When you make space to think, even for a few minutes each day, you begin to notice patterns in your reactions, uncover hidden emotions, and understand your behavior with greater clarity. This self-awareness allows you to identify what truly matters, align your actions with your values, and let go of unnecessary distractions that cloud your judgment. For example, taking just 5 minutes to journal at the end of the day can help you process your experiences and examine how you responded to challenges. You might ask yourself, did I react from a place of fear? Or did I remain calm and act with intention? Through this simple practice, you not only gain clarity but also prepare yourself to handle similar situations with greater wisdom in the future. In our modern lives, we are bombarded by endless streams of information, from emails to social media, all vying for our attention and leaving little room for our own thoughts to breathe. This is why reflection is so transformative. It creates a sanctuary for your mind amidst the chaos. Imagine starting your morning with a few minutes of silence, or ending your evening with quiet meditation, focusing solely on your breath. These moments act as a reset button, helping you navigate life's noise with a sense of calm and composure. As Epictetus wisely observed, if a person doesn't know to which port they sail, no wind is favorable. Without reflection, we drift aimlessly. With it, we set a course guided by intention. Reflection also allows us to evaluate not just how we act, but why we act. When you regularly examine your responses, you gain the power to identify emotional triggers and break unhelpful cycles. For instance, if you find yourself reacting with frustration to minor inconveniences, reflection can help you uncover the deeper source of your irritation and address it at its root. Over time, this practice strengthens your ability to pause before reacting, fostering greater emotional balance. By regularly stepping back and observing your thoughts, you train your mind to remain steady and discerning, even when life feels overwhelming. The Stoics understood that reflection is essential for living a life of purpose and resilience. Today, we might frame it as mindfulness or intentional living, but the wisdom remains the same. When you give yourself time to think, you gain the clarity needed to act. Start small. Set aside time each day to journal, meditate, or simply sit in silence. These practices may seem insignificant at first, but they are the building blocks of a more intentional life. As you reflect, you'll find it easier to let go of what doesn't serve you and focus on what truly matters. Remember, the greatest battles are often fought in the mind, and creating space for reflection is how you prepare to win. Through the Stoic secrets of intentional reflection, you can find balance even in the most chaotic moments. Life doesn't have to feel like a relentless race when you pause to reflect on the path you're taking. By simplifying your life and carving out these moments of stillness, you not only gain clarity, but also reclaim control over your emotions and actions. This practice helps you live with purpose, rooted in your values and unfazed by distractions. In this way, you act as if nothing hurts you, not by avoiding life's challenges, but by equipping yourself to face them with wisdom, calm, and resilience. Number 6. Use gratitude as a foundation for strength. Let me share with you one of the most profound tools for building emotional strength: gratitude. It may sound simple, even cliché, but gratitude has the power to transform how you approach life's challenges. Often when we face pain, loss, or hardship, our attention becomes fixated on what we don't have or what has gone wrong. Practicing gratitude shifts that focus and reminds us of the good that still exists, no matter how small. This isn't about ignoring difficulties or pretending they don't matter. It's about redirecting your perspective to acknowledge the abundance already present in your life. As Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest thinkers of Stoicism, once wrote, "Do not indulge in dreams of having what you don't have, but reckon up the chief of the blessings you do possess, and then thankfully remember how you would crave for them if they were not yours." Gratitude shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance, and in doing so, it builds emotional resilience. Think about how easy it is to get caught in a cycle of negative thoughts when life feels overwhelming. Maybe it's a health challenge, a financial setback, or a strained relationship. In those moments, gratitude becomes your lifeline. When you intentionally look for things to be thankful for, whether it's the support of a loved one, the strength you've shown so far, or even the opportunity to learn from the hardship, you disrupt the downward spiral of negativity. Gratitude doesn't make the problem disappear, but it changes the way you experience it. It gives you the strength to endure, adapt, and move forward. Take, for example, someone facing a serious health diagnosis. Instead of being consumed by fear or frustration, they might choose to focus on the love of their family, the guidance of compassionate doctors, or the opportunity to make meaningful lifestyle changes. This shift in focus doesn't erase the difficulty, but it fosters a sense of peace and control that makes the challenge more bearable. Incorporating gratitude into your daily life is one of the most effective ways to build emotional fortitude, and modern Stoicism offers us tools to do just that. It's not about waiting for big, life-changing moments to feel thankful. It's about finding joy in the everyday. The smile of a loved one, a quiet moment with a cup of coffee, or even the strength to rise after failure. All of these are opportunities to practice gratitude. When you consistently focus on what you have rather than what you lack, you cultivate a stronger, more resilient mind. As Seneca said, true happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future. Gratitude grounds you in the present moment, helping you find peace even amid uncertainty. In today's fast-paced world, where it's so easy to compare yourself to others or feel like you're falling behind, gratitude is a form of self-care and perspective. Modern Stoicism teaches us that while we can't control external events, we can always control our response to them. By practicing gratitude, you train your mind to seek the positive, to recognize the good, and to create emotional balance. When you face life's challenges with a foundation of gratitude, you approach them not from a place of despair but from a place of strength. It's a mindset that says, "This may be difficult, but I still have much to be thankful for, and I will find my way forward." Start small. Every day, take a moment to reflect on 3 things you're grateful for. Write them down or say them aloud. Over time, this practice rewires your perspective, making it easier to spot the blessings in your life, even when times are tough. You'll find that situations that once left you feeling powerless now hold opportunities for growth and gratitude. Practicing gratitude doesn't eliminate life's challenges, but it equips you with the emotional resilience to face them. As Epictetus said, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not but rejoices for those which he has." Gratitude doesn't just change your perspective, it changes your life. It's a simple yet powerful habit that builds inner strength, allowing you to endure hardship, appreciate the present, and live with a deeper sense of peace and purpose. Pain is an inevitable part of life, but it doesn't have to define you. With the principles of Stoicism, you can transform your struggles into powerful opportunities for growth and resilience. Modern Stoicism reminds us that it's not the pain itself, but how we choose to respond that shapes our lives. By focusing on what is within your control and letting go of what is not, you can approach life's challenges with clarity, courage, and strength. These Stoic secrets teach us that every hardship is a lesson, every setback a chance to grow, and every moment of pain a step toward building a stronger, more resilient self. If this message resonates with you, don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who might need it, and subscribe to Stoic in Your Life. Turn on notifications so you won't miss our upcoming videos filled with more wisdom and practical advice on living a Stoic life. Together, let's embrace this journey of growth, resilience, and peace. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.